So if you look at your life, your experience is based on perspective. What's going on? It's your boy DG. Welcome back. People are constantly wondering, what is the meaning of life? Well, you're gonna be shocked. Before we get started, make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe, and make sure you share this with at least one person who's been wanting to know what is the meaning of this thing that we call life. So if we dive a little deeper than just this everyday occurrence of us waking up, living, and going to sleep, we start to see that every human being has this innate nature of knowing somehow that there's something more to this existence than what we can put our physical finger on. We're going to touch on really why, and you'll see that the journey of self-discovery was the whole point of your existence. So when you start understanding this thing that we call the present moment is all that existed. And notice what I said. I said the present moment. That means it is momentarily happening. It's not one thing that's moving, it's moment, 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 moment. The analogy I'll use is, do you remember when you were a kid and you take like a Post-it notebook and you draw a picture of a stick figure, and then the next page you draw another picture of that stick figure, but his arm would be moving, and the next page another one, and another one, and another one, and then when you got done after maybe 10 or 15 pages, you'd go, and you would see the stick man start to move. This is what's happening in our three-dimensional reality. You are this thing that we refer to as the absolute that broke itself off into this thing called the divine particle that is moving and traveling quicker than the speed of light. People say, well, I thought nothing moved faster than the speed of light. If you look at non-Hertzian waves, scalar waves, or also known as Tesla waves, there are things that move quicker than the speed of light. So when you understand that everything is this divine particle that is momentarily creating itself, operating within itself, and destroying it. These set of principles that we call are generative, operative, dissolution, G-O-D. This is what the present moment is constantly doing. It's generating, it's operating, and it's destroying quicker than the speed of light. So now if we take a zoom out, we look at this one particle, this one thing that is vibrating so fast. Imagine if I were to put a laser up on a screen, and there's this little red dot of this laser, and you see it like, yeah, oh yeah, there's a red dot. And then I start to move that red dot around in a circle really, really fast. That red dot will become one circle. But you know that it's actually just that one laser point. But how does it look like this continuous circle that's connected? This is what the divine particle is doing, but it's moving so quickly, we cannot process it within this third dimension of space and time. So when you understand that, know that your life is happening moment by moment. But because it's happening so quickly, it looks like it's continuous. It looks like it's all a singular event that's just happening like this. No, it's generating, operating, destroying. Generating, operating, destroying. And it's doing it moment by moment by moment by moment by moment by moment by moment. So this is why we call it the present moment. Because when you find the present moment, you will find this three-pronged principle of generative, operative, dissolution. G-O-D. This is why the present moment was so sacred. It's because that's all there was. And when you achieve this state of presence, you will see that you are nothing more than the observer of everything in this objective reality. You are the subject that is experiencing the object. And with no subject, there is no object. So what is the meaning of life? The meaning of life is to come to awareness that you are awareness. To be aware of your existence and what you are observing through you realizing that you are the observer. And this is when we split the ego self from our true divine nature of spirit. When you do that, you will start to see truly what you are. And this, in the whole grand scheme of things, is what consciousness was doing, the absolute. This is what it was doing from the beginning. It was breaking itself off into all these perspectives to see what it would be like. What would it be like being him? What would it be like being a tree? What would it be like being a rock? This is it. This is it. This is what we all are. So if you look at your life, your experience is based on perspective through using the faculty of perception. That is the micro of what this macro is doing. It's just trying to gain more perspective to see what everything was like. And if you look at your life, you are universal consciousness imagining itself to be a human being. So much to the point that you forget that you are universal consciousness. And this was the journey. It was to remember. So if you think about it, universal consciousness imagined itself to be human. And now the human, every time that we say I am and we adopt an identity, this is universal consciousness forgetting that it's universal consciousness and thinking it's something else. So this is why if you look at all the sacred text, we'll use Yeshua ben Yosef for example. I am that I am. Meaning there is no boundary, there is no confinement of what this consciousness truly is. You, my friend, are infinite. In the journey of remembering that and doing the inner work and coming to a place of self-realization through what we call enlightenment was the purpose of this existence. It was this cosmic consciousness trying to remember itself through this finite experience of what we call a human life. So the meaning, the purpose of life was you continuing on this journey to remember that you were the thing that was creating this entire universe. And we do this through us developing new parts of ourselves and diving inward. And through this journey of that what we call life, each experience, each circumstance is going to help you to remember that there was a part of you that was just so much more than this physical world. And that was the purpose of this existence. If this has helped you, if this resonates with you, let us know in the comments. Make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe. Like we said before, make sure you share it with somebody. Until next time, you know where to find us. And remember, be good.